Hey YouTube, it's the middle of January and I've decided to make a start on my February cover page, and I'm going to go totally fucking Valentine's on this. I've got some new stuff that I want to play with, and this is it. It's going to become very obvious that I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, this ink is not called Juicy. This is just a note to myself that this ink pad is quite juicy. This ink is called Spun Sugar, just so you know. Yeah, I'm gonna go nuts and do sort of, yeah, quite a mess, but I'm sort of doing this as I'm thinking it, and it's been going around in my head all day, so I thought I'd better start. Otherwise, I'm gonna forget what it is that I want to do. So, for those of you that don't know, I am bullet journaling without the bullet journal. I will link to that up in the cards. I have basically decided to create my own journal, and that will entail me putting it all together at the end of the year once it's all done. So it'll be after. So I'm trying to find a sheet of paper that I had, and I don't know what I've done with it. That's going to be quite messy to work on. That there. This might work. I should probably open it out a little bit more, but I really can't be naffed at the moment. And it's quite spongy, which I hear is good for stamping. Oh dear. Right. I mean, I've got things like I got this lovely music notes stamp that my friend Wendy sent me for Christmas. This just came yesterday, which I want to use as background stamps. I've also got a hearts stencil that I've been saving purely for Valentine's Day. Completely forgot I had it and then just found it. I've got some heart stamps. I've got a heart die with a matching stamp. I don't know if I'm going to use it all. I really don't. I am literally winging this as I go. Yeah. So I figure what I'm going to start with, I've got 3 colours which fall under the realms of what I class as Valentine's. I've got picked raspberry, which is this colour here, the Spun Sugar, which is this very pale pink here, and Candied apple, which is obviously a bright red. I also have some Gelatos. I'm not sure which ones to go with. I've got a nice pale pink there, which is very, very similar to Spun Sugar, slightly darker. I've got some other pinks. Strawberry. Love these because they come up like bloody lipstick. It's great. So that's a sort of darker, dusky pink. See, I mean, I may not use any of these. I really don't know. Watermelon. That should be quite nice, shouldn't it? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Spun Sugar to do my main background piece, and then we can go from there. I think that might be the best way to do it.
So I started off by using the stencil that I got from AliExpress. It's quite a thin stencil, and I've only used a stencil a couple of times, so I thought I'd better tape it down this time. I also discovered that the pads of the Holtz daubers fit in the bottom of the Holtz inks. I was quite pleased with that. So yeah, this is me putting it down, and then I realised that because my stencil doesn't quite fit, I basically ran out of stencil before I ran out of paper. So I had to fudge it a bit and fill in the ones where there was only half hearts here and there, and you know, just to make it look a little bit better because it looked a bit messy. The colour ink is Spun Sugar, and it's really, really pretty. And then the little pad just fits back in the bottom of the ink. It's cool! So that was good. I cleaned up my stencil. Then I decided to use the musical notes stencil as well. This was one that my friend Wendy got me. I had this alphabet stamp and I really, really wanted to use it, but I figured, you know, hearts and romantic music went together better than a jumble of letters. So I'll use the letters at some other time. I stamped it and then realised that I'd probably stamped it upside down, so I was a bit fed up with that. But I wanted a real jumble, so I, yeah, turned it around and added in more stamps and more colour, and just really went for it to make it look quite a jumbled up area. Then I had to fight to get the damn thing back in the packet. Why do they never go back in the packet? I ended up sticking the lid to the bottom of the rocker to stop it sticking to the bloody stamp. I hummed and hawed about what to use next, and I decided I was going to use these capital letters from Stampin' Up. Just put February on here. Well, Feb. I ended up stamping each letter twice because it just, to me, it didn't look bold enough. It does on the camera, and you know, but yeah, I ended up doing it twice, and here I am just showing you how the stamp fills up. But it looked a bit patchy, and I kind of wish I'd left it patchy now, because it would sort of add to that grunge look, and it did bleed through, which I'm a bit fed up with. Oh, this was me showing you how I use my misty thing. Except mine's called a Stamp Perfect or Perfect. I don't know. I got it in Hobbycraft. Yeah, so there you go. that was it. It actually stamped better using that. I think it's because you can put more pressure on a bigger plate, you know. And then I used this little stamp, which I think I got from AliExpress, and I did do that a couple of times, but it did make it very wet, and it took ages for the red ink to dry. Now I'm just hunting through my box of washi, and it's got to be hearts, isn't it? You know, because even though I'm not a soppy person, but Valentine's Day is the only day that I go a bit daft with the hearts and the and you know, and all of that lot. So yeah, I really, yeah, I went nuts on this page. Also, excuse if you can hear coughing and that in the background. Everybody in this house has got the plague. We're all dying. See. Yeah, and I was just hunting through, looking for, I just needed something else, and I found this little stamp that I got in Hobbycraft, and it says "with love" on it, and it's got X's and O's, and then I came up with the ingenious idea that I was actually going to attempt for the very first time to emboss onto my project. I'd never used this heat gun. This heat gun was brand new. That box of glitter that you see there is brand new. The only thing that wasn't brand new is the stamping pad, and that's because it was given to me by my friend Margaret Ann when she came to visit. I've only seen this done. I had never attempted it before, so this was a learning curve, and I'm gonna go back to normal speed for this.
Trouble is with this, because you're not going to be able to see. And it's covered off. Oh, I hope this works. Oh my god, this stuff is still wrapped. I haven't even opened it. See, this is how new I am. I haven't even opened it. Should I shake it first? Just to make sure it's all proper gold. And then you just go nuts, don't you? Oh wow! It worked! Yes, I know I've got to set it with the heat gun. I didn't think something that intricate would work. I don't know why, because I've seen mandalas and all sorts. See, and then you put it all back in there for next time. Now I know that you've got to... see, I've just fucking wiped some of that off. Let's set it before I actually do any more damage. My gun is at a weird... Does that bit come off? No. That is so cool. What I was saying was, I don't know if you could hear me, but that is so cool because you can see it change. I've missed a little bit. Oh my god, I want to emboss everything. I really wish I'd done the heart in that now. Oh, that is so freaking cool. Love it. Right. Oh, I'm shot to pieces with that. That's my cover page, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Give me 2 seconds to clean up and then we'll get on with the next step. Okay. Okay. A good couple of hours have passed and I've been sketching it out as to what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it, and yeah, I think I'm ready to go. I was going to ask you guys, do you think, because I've only got this little bit of gold here, do you think I should use my gold gel pen to sort of scruffy border the heart and maybe even the letters? I don't know, what do you think? Because what I'm thinking is, right, for example, scraps of paper, always keep your scraps of paper. So we've got this nice sort of impressive F, sort of, you know, something like that. Should I get... First I need to find my gold gel pen. Hang on, there we go. Right, should I get my gold gel pen and sort of, I'm thinking quite... like this, and do the same around the heart, or maybe even just like sort of one one line, so where it goes. Ooh. So just do like one line, but to make it look sort of slightly, no, that was a bit too much, but just to give it that sort of, not quite so, I don't know that I like either of those. Don't know, what do you think? Answers on a postcard, or, you know, in the comments, whatever. Okay. Alright, let's tuck my keyboard out of the way because I've got a bad habit of hitting spacebar and cancelling the recording. Right, let's grab a page that way. Now, I can't remember if I did it. These little hearts here, I just made these with this little punch. I got this in Poundland, and some glittery cardstock that I got in Hobbycraft. And it's a sort of gorgeous bluey purple. I really, really like that. So, yeah. So, first thing first, we are going to stick in the calendar. And I'm thinking of actually using the heart border again. And I don't think red though, because you can see where the reds come through quite strongly. I was going to do it in red, but maybe in one of the other colours. I might even use one of the Gelatos actually. You know, got a nice sort of, got a couple of pinks. I've just moved them into a new tub and now I can't get any of them out because they're all so tight. So I got that one, which I think that one might actually do. What's that like on colour? So that's quite pale. Could use that. Might do that. Use that with the dauber. Yeah. I will be back.
So literally all I'm doing here is using my washi tape to cover up the calendar, mask off the calendar, so that I can use my stencil and not worry about spilling over into the calendar, because, you know, I'm quite messy. I seem to have two different types of gelatos. This one I'm using, which is in the colour Guava, I picked up in a local art shop and I found it really, really hard to get it to go down, and I was so pissed off because I thought, well, you know, I've seen other people, namely Eclectic Scribbles, use gelatos and she does it so quickly and so easily. And then I picked up one of the other ones that I got in a haul video that I did not that long ago, and that one went on so smoothly. The difference was amazing. It goes onto the dauber more smoothly, it goes onto the paper more smoothly. So yeah, I don't know, other than the fact that, yeah, this is me showing you the comparison, that the ones from the gift pack have a clear top and a clear twisty bit at the bottom. I don't really know whether there's any difference, but they do feel different and they feel creamier, the ones out of the gift pack. They're much, much nicer. So yeah, if you find them and they've got a solid lid, I wouldn't recommend them because they are harder to use if you use them this way. Okay, I don't know about any other way, but if you use them as little mini daubers, they are harder to use. They're harder to get onto the dauber. They don't go down as nicely on the paper. I mean, they look just as nice. They look just the same once they are down, but it's harder work. Okay, so yeah. I use several different colours. I will list them down below, but I know the pale pink at the top was Guava. I used a strawberry and a couple of others. If I can remember what they are, I will list them down below. I tore the bloody paper taking the washi tape off, which I was really angry about, but there you go. And then I just continued along the bottom with the whole heart motif thing going on. mixing the colours up so that it doesn't look too boring, you know. Always put something down between the paper you're working on and your desk, otherwise you end up with a really shitty looking desk because it gets covered in crap. But yeah, I actually really got into this once I got going. I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. Like I said, it's much easier with the other gelatos. I didn't clean my stencil until I was done. The little mini daubers make it much easier to miss out the hearts that you need to miss out than the big Tim Holtz, well, I'll say the big one, the mini ink pad applicator thingy. It's technical terms only here, ladies and gentlemen.
This is part 3. I've finished doing the stenciling and I drew in the black lines already, and now I'm just going to number it. So I'm using Tombow 673.
I started numbering my calendar like this in January, and I really enjoy how it looks. It's much easier to see the numbers. Last month I just used a pale grey, but then I thought, well, why not colour coordinate? So yeah, it came out quite well. I used one of my Crayola, they come from the 50 pack, I think they're called Super Tips or something. I used one of those for writing in the days of the week, and that's it. Now I'm doing my tracker. This is a square tracker. I've been doing this for the last few months and I really love it, and I quite often I fuck it up and get it wrong, but there you go. The inside square in the centre there that I'm sort of drawing the lines around is 16 cells, I believe it is, and I start my line going from the centre every 2 dots, and then on the outside edge it's every 4.75 dots. I hope that makes sense. I really don't know how else to sort of describe it. I drew it this way to make it a little bit easier to see, but yeah, on the inside square the lines meet at every 2 dots. On the outside square they're spaced apart every 4.75 dots, which you know, obviously you have to wing that because you know you've got to do it by eye. And then I just draw in the lines for each task. Each column is a day and each line is of course it's a column or a line depending on which way you're looking at it, but yeah, each cell is a task on a different day. If that, yeah, well you know how they work. I mean, come on, it's not rocket science. I normally do just eye this, but I thought because it was an even amount I would put it in and yeah, make it look pretty. And then I thought, well, I don't normally write anything, so I had a go at adding in a bit of fancy. Then I realised that I hadn't done enough squares, so I couldn't write the date around the outside. Because yeah, I'm like that. This is now my tarot card of the day spread, and simply all this is each day I pull a tarot card and I write down what card it is and what it means. This is my key for it, as I've got several decks and I might use a different deck each day or whatever. I've got about 5 or 6 on the go at the moment. And then I thought, well, I'm going to add in, you know, it's got to be hearts, isn't it, because it's Valentine's, but I have this lovely celestial hearts in the stars mochi that I first used in November, and I just thought that was perfect, so I decided to use that. I'm just sticking in the date here, and I will colour code each day so that I know which deck that I used, pretty much like I colour code everything. that's it. Nice and basic, that one. This is my dreaded About Me page. This is a stencil I got from Oops a Daisy on Etsy. I'm not in love with it because it is a very, 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 very fine stencil, and if you don't hold bits down they tend to wobble, but there you go. And on this one I measure my upper arm, my hips and bum, my stomach and my upper thighs with my tape measure, and then on the scales I write down what my weight is, and in that wee box on the bottom left hand corner I write what my clothes size currently is and what my BMI is calculated at, and that's just it. And I'm going to try and do that on the 1st of every month. The tape I'm putting down the side here says made with love on it, because you've got to learn to love yourself. You really do. You should love yourself, people. This is my mood and pain tracker. I'm doing it this way because although I did enjoy drawing in the little, doodles or whatever for my mood tracker, I got a bit fed up with colouring them in, especially when I sort of colour code everything. So I just thought, I'm going to go basic this year. I got this idea off of Miss McKenna, Life something or other. If I can remember, I'll link to her. And I just track my mood and my pain to see, whether they coincide. And I just put some Simply Gilded washi on that Jolene gave me. I use my ruler when I'm putting washi down to A, help tear it, and B, to just help flatten it, to get rid of any air bubbles or little creases that might have come because, I don't pay attention enough. Now on the left here I'm going to do my, I think this is my sleep tracker. Yes, this is my sleep tracker. On the left side of it I put how good my sleep was, so I do a little bar graph as to whether it was bad sleep or a great sleep, and then I've got the hours across the top starting at 7 PM going through till 10 AM the next morning. I drew it with my Tombow, and then I thought, what, that just does not look thick enough, so I went back and faux calligraphied its ass. This is my steps tracker, and this is very simple. I just put the days down the left hand side, and then across the top it goes from 1 to 25, and that's thousands of steps, and I just fill it in as a bar graph, really. So yeah, I decided that I needed to put a little bit of decoration in here, so I put a little sleepy emoji with little Z's, because that's a little sleep emoji. That's what he does, he sleeps. And then I decided to add the little footprints for the steps. And in case you're wondering, I'm not doing a food log. I did it throughout January, and it's only the 18th, and I'm fucking sick of it already. So it's not conducive to me. I'm not looking back at it. I don't get it, I don't get why people are so in love with it, so no, I'm not bothering. So I love this red dotty washi. It's so shiny. So shiny. This is my cleaning tracker. I really, really loved using this throughout January. I've stuck sticky notes all over my January one because some things worked and some things didn't. And really what didn't work was things that the order that I'd listed everything in was wrong. The first thing I do every single day is clean the toilet, and yet that was halfway down every single list. And I thought it would be more helpful to me if I actually list the items in the order that I wanted them to be done in, or in the, not the best order, but maybe what I consider the most helpful order. I mean, some things I've got listed on there every single day. Every single day I clean the loo, I tidy my office, I wipe down my son's little table, did I fill the dishwasher, did I put laundry on, clean the worktops, sweep the floor. Those things I do every single day, and yes, I wrote them down every single day. And the way this tracker works is that each big square is a day. That left one, that's for my monthly. So things that only really need doing once a month get put in there. And then next to that will be Monday. And then across the top of the little boxes, I write the dates. So every date that a Monday falls on gets put there. And then it just makes it easier for me to find. It was the best way I could think of to do it. And I actually quite liked how it turned out. So I skipped through showing you me writing it out every single day, but this is pretty much what I do. I just write my tasks out next to the little boxes, and then I colour them in with the pen of the day when I do the tasks. And that's pretty much it. So now just a sped up flip through just to remind you of what I'd done.
There you go. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching. You know, please give me a thumbs up, leave me some comments. I love comments. I love interacting with everybody. If you click the little book down there in the corner, you'll be able to subscribe, and if you subscribe and then hit the bell, you'll be notified when I upload new content. If there's anything in particular you'd like to see, or anything that I didn't cover in the voiceover that I didn't explain, you know, let me know, and I will either respond to you down in the comments, or I'll put it in the next video, or, you know, whatever. We'll figure it out, whatever. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate that it was really long. I'm exhausted now. I'm gonna go to bed. Take it easy, guys. Happy planning. See you later.